What's up, y'all? It's your girl Malaysia, aka Zanilee. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and comment on this video. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe and turn your post notifications on for me. Yeah, before we get into this video, I just wanted to give a round of applause for the hair, just because I just got my hair done. And yeah, I just feel really good. Y'all know, I just feel like sometimes when my hair is not done, it be making me feel depressed. It's really bad. That's something that I have to fix within myself. But when my hair is not done, I just don't feel right. And I just came back from the shop like maybe an hour or two ago. I don't know what time it is actually, so I wouldn't know. But I got home around 2:20, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I got home around 2:20. I know my usual color. I always go for the ginger colors because it's just really nice with my skin tone. Ginger is it's me. It's me. And that's all. It's me. What? It's me. So as you can see from the title, we're going to be figuring out for ourselves if we've outgrown certain relationships or not. It's very important to figure out for ourselves if we have outgrown something or not, because keeping around things that we've outgrown won't help us grow further. It'll just keep us looking back there and not forward to see what we can do to keep ourselves growing as much as possible. Not as fast as possible, because be patient, things take time, but you definitely don't want to take more time than you need to, having people and situations around that you shouldn't. I also wanted to shed light on the fact that when we are healing and are growing ourselves, we kind of move closer towards isolation. Although strength and solitude is a very important thing, I don't feel as though we should be in solitude all the time. You feel me? It shouldn't be like that all the time. As humans, connection with other human beings is in our nature, so we need that sometimes. It's all about having a healthy balance. That's it. A healthy balance is what will help you grow. You have your moments of solitude to learn yourself and figure out yourself, and you have your moments of, connection with other human beings to fulfill love and inspiration and, so on and so forth. The reason why I say have a healthy balance is because solitude can be dangerous when you have too much of it. You want to have strength over your mind. You don't want your mind to have strength over you. So now that I gave y'all a little introduction on what we'll be talking about, I want to go ahead and get into the topics that I wanted to discuss. The first one is knowing when you've outgrown someone. One of the many things to happen when we start our healing journeys is that we do outgrow people. It's natural. It's normal. It happens. It's going to happen throughout the rest of your life. The rest of your time being here, you're going to outgrow people. The reason why is because friends, family, situations that were once normal to you start to seem toxic. Your old ways, you view them in a different perspective, and you don't want that a part of you anymore. But what you also have to understand is that you made connections with people through your old ways, and that happened for a reason. Y'all bonded over those ways. So it's when you step into a new light, it's kind of hard to really be on the same page with them, because it's you're really not on that anymore. At this stage, you really stop caring about what other people think about you, stop caring about trying to fit in. You know what journey you're on, and you know how you can prosper. A lot of people, prosper in different ways. A lot of people won't see why you're doing what you're doing. You just stay in your own lane. Do what you gotta do. You focus on yourself. You kind of get an understanding that you were meant to be on your own path. You weren't meant to walk with everybody else. Now, understand in this stage, sometimes we really haven't outgrown certain people, because little do we know we're still on the same page as them. When you kind of first tap into your healing journey and go into fixing yourself, you kind of get a bit of an ego. You just had this whole shift in your brain. It's just wow, all this knowledge just reappeared. A lot of the knowledge that we, learn was already within us. When you wake that knowledge back up, you kind of get cocky. you kind of get like, oh yeah, like I don't know why they're doing this, or I don't know why they're doing that. Like, yeah, like I would never do this. But you got to understand, like, you were just with them. Like, you were just on that side. You were just doing what they was doing. And just because you kind of had a shift doesn't mean that they had that same shift. Maybe right now was your time to shift, but maybe their time won't be for the next 20 years. You'll never know. Everybody's on their own path, own journey. So don't rush it for other people, and don't judge. We don't want nobody judging you, so don't do it. That don't come from a place of love. That comes from ego. Ego balances us out. It's kind of something that grounds us, but you don't want your ego to be bigger than the love and compassion you have for others. Be understanding, just as much as you would want somebody to be understanding of you. Going into our second topic, we have to understand the difference between judging and observing. Now, like I said, when we awaken that knowledge that was stored within us, we get a little cocky. A lot of people think of it as I've outgrown someone. You know about this stuff, but you're being very egotistical about it. You're kind of no better than them. We learn things, we practice things, and then we kind of look at people like they're beneath us, but they're really not. We aren't above nor below anyone. Some vibrate higher, some vibrate lower, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same earth. We all function the same, not to a literal sense, but like, as a basic human being, we have the same functions. Knowing better than someone doesn't make you better. Also, another thing you gotta understand is some people are actually very much comfortable in the place that they are in life right now. You can't force anyone to grow with you. They have to want that for themselves. And if they don't want that, let them be happy where they're at. Like, don't struggle with yourself trying to help other people. You just need to worry about your growth. You're trying to recognize if you've outgrown someone or not. Instead of looking down on them or judging them, try to determine whether their actions are good for you or not. Instead of looking at them and be like, ew, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Just be like, oh, okay, personally, I wouldn't do that. But, that's you. I don't think I would like to hang out around people like that or people who do things like that. Continue to be you, but that's just not something for me. That's how you carry it. And it's easier said than done, but that doesn't mean it can't be done either. Everything is easier said than done, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it anyway. It's easy to judge and more difficult to understand. Understanding requires compassion, patience, and the willpower to understand that sometimes good hearts can make poor choices. Next thing we're going to get into is knowing when to go. Knowing when to leave. Okay? We got to know when to go. Not everything is meant to be everlasting. Sometimes people come as lessons to teach us what's wrong and right with us. And the reason why I put like air quotes around it is because nothing is ever really wrong or right. It's just this decision or that decision. And you learn from either one. And as long as you have the ability to learn and make change, nothing is right or wrong. Some people are also meant to teach us how to love ourselves. The way you'll know when to go is when mutual efforts aren't being put in. Nobody's perfect, okay? That's one thing I love to say because it's true. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You gotta be okay with the fact that sometimes the people you love will hurt you and they will, upset you or disappoint you. But it's about, equal efforts being put in to grow as a, relationship and make a change. In relationship, I mean friend, family member, boyfriend, girlfriend. Relationship just as a genuine connection. It doesn't have to be just like relationship, boy, girl. Like, I'm talking about any relationship you have with anyone. If you're in situations where you don't feel valued, it's constant arguing and no resolution whatsoever, you just gotta go. Because you can give your boundaries and they can give their boundaries, but if nobody's working to put effort in, that's when you decide to leave. Okay? It's no point of going back and forth with that because it's not going to work out in your favor or theirs. Now, in some cases, not all of them, but in some cases, letting go can lead to a bigger disagreement. And what I mean by that is, it can lead to fighting, to arguing, to beefing. But I'm going to tell you this. Once you let go of someone, knowing that it's going to benefit yourself, leave it as that. Don't argue, don't fight, don't none of that. Like, it's really no point. Like, just let go. Just let go. You've outgrown them, and it's time to move on. It's time to focus on the next stage. You don't need to worry about what was on the last step because you already moved past it. Just focus on growing even more and keep climbing up those steps. Now we're going to talk about knowing when to stay. Now, let's say the opposite happens, right? Let's say this is something that is meant to last. Like I said beforehand, people are in our lives for a reason. And it's kind of up to you to figure out why, because it's your life. So you need to know why they're in it. I don't mean figure out their intentions, because we're not mind readers. People tell you what they want you to know. So as much as you think you know a person, you really don't. What you need to really figure out is why you're giving them access to your life. Because like I just said before, it's your life. The people that are in your life are in there for a reason. And the main reason is because you're letting them. Figure out why you're letting them have access to your presence. Now, if you've bonded with somebody through trauma, I really wouldn't suggest staying, because it's a trauma bond. You bonded through something that you want to heal from. So if you've healed from that and the other person kind of doesn't want to, or really isn't interested in healing from that, y'all won't understand each other because you want better for yourself. And they just want to continue being comfortable. And you don't. So y'all just not going to see eye to eye. You want to detox yourself from people, places, and things that'll make you go back to your old ways. If you do decide to stay with a relationship like that, though, I would really just suggest setting boundaries. And if those boundaries are crossed, now that's even more of a reason for you to not stay. If that person can respect your boundaries, I don't see a problem with it. Just tell them you're non-negotiables so you won't feel triggered. There won't be a need to feel triggered around them because you set your boundaries. But if they cross them, then just let it go, like you should have in the beginning. But it's okay because we don't always do that. So, just cut that shit short now. And the last thing for this video that I want you guys to know is to be mindful of the people who criticize you without supporting you. Now, let's get into criticism, because you don't want to just be so self-absorbed that you don't see how you're affecting the people around you. You definitely want to be self-aware. That's the number one thing. And sometimes criticism from others can help you tap into that. But a lot of people hide their criticism behind I'm just trying to, be there for you. But really, they don't support you in any way, shape, or form. They criticize what you do and shame you for what you do. But when you're doing good, they don't acknowledge that or congratulate that. They're more worried about saying something about you than understanding and helping you grow as a person. If you really love someone, you give them criticism and you also help them. You don't just judge them and kick them when they're down. That's not what we're going to do. How well you take criticism depends on the relationship you have with that person and what they're really saying. And also how you feel about yourself as well. Because if someone says something and it triggers you, 9 times out of 10, it might be some truth in it. When hard truths come from people we love and care about, who see the potential in us and believe in our success, it's easier to hear criticism from them. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't even go to advice for. Everything is about intention. So someone could be saying something about you, and it could be true. It could be something that you need to work on. But are they saying it to let you hear about yourself so you can work on it? Or are they saying it so they can make you feel like shit? Even if you do need to hear about yourself, sometimes people who don't have our best interests in mind rejoice in the fact that we don't have our shit together. And they'll speak on those things just to spite you. A lot of people, when giving unsolicited advice, attacks the person and not the behavior. Feedback is also subjective though. So 9 times out of 10, it could be opinion based and or them reflecting what they need to hear about themselves onto you. I hope you guys feel enlightened. I hope you guys learned something new. I hope that if you already knew these things, that this refreshed your memory, reminded you to work more on yourself, and to make sure that the relationships that you have help you grow and not hold you back. And with that note, we are done with the video. Before we go, I do have a very big announcement. You guys know Pride Month is coming up, so I will be doing a vlog for the Pride Parade. Period. I know you guys are excited because I'm excited too. I went to Pride last year, but I didn't really get to do the parade. I got there kind of late. I kind of got there when it was just like the festival shit. So I really plan on having fun this Pride and bring you guys along with me. Now that we've covered everything, bye guys. I can't wait to see you next time during the vlog, and have a wonderful day.